What's going on? Born for Sports. Salute to New York Giant Nation. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you smash that like. Make sure you smash that subscribe button above else to Born for Sports. Oh, here we are, folks. Week 11. You can change the coaches. You can make a couple adjustments to the game plan, but the Giants will find a way to lose. And this is the DNA of this current team, roster, staff, from the top to the bottom. This is their identity. They're a team with a collection of talent that cannot find a way to win, but perfect the art of losing. That is who the New York Giants are. And until they find a way to just get out of that, this is their identity. This is their identity going forward until they find a real leader in the front office to the sidelines. We have our quarterback in our franchise, young quarterback, who didn't play today, but they still have that stench and cloud over MetLife Stadium and on this franchise. And they have to find a way to get out of this. In a lost season, the Giants just keep finding ways, man. They just keep finding ways. And they lose today's game to the Packers 27-20 and fall to 2-9. Now, coming into the game, there was some injuries that we all aware of, which we'll get to in a moment. But the big news, as per early in the week, was the firing of Brian Daboll, the head coach of the New York Giants, and promoting interim coach to the interim coach chair and seat, I should say, in Mike Kafka. Now, I've seen some things during the week about how, the media going out, hey, he's a candidate to become the head coach full time. He'll be amongst the candidate pool. I've seen some of that. And I am on record. I don't want nothing to do with Mike Kafka being a head coach. I want the stench of this regime out of here. And it's not just Brian Daboll. It's the coaching staff that he assembled here. And I'm not even terribly mad at Mike Kafka, but he holds a part and wears exactly what has gone wrong the last 4 years in New York Giant land. He's a part of this. And you could assign a percentage of blame to this coach, to that coach, to this player, to that GM, and this. The point is, they're all a collective. And I want this burnt to the ground and going forward with a new voice and new leadership from top to bottom. We cannot go forward with Mike Kafka as head coach. So I hope to God that I can hear for the rest of this lost season that the Giants are not taking him as he's the front runner and all of that just because of Jackson Dart. Okay? We have to get rid of this, man. We have to move forward with the trajectory of the future of this franchise. And you can't keep holding on to this little thing. And, let's rearrange the furniture. Let's rearrange the furniture, but keep the same foundation of dry wood around the house. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't. Checking in on the comments. Cliff checks in. Salute, Cliff. What's going on, bro? What's going on? I know you guys took an L the other night with the Jets and Thursday night football, and I appreciate you tapping in, man. It's just ridiculous to me that we would even entertain the idea, okay, of trying to go forward with this coaching staff, okay, with anyone like. And as far as I'm concerned, the only one that I would even want to retain is Carmen Brasillo, the offensive line coach of the New York Giants, who has done a tremendous job with what he's had to work with here. Okay? Well, what he's had to work with here. And first round bust like Evan Neal, who's been a waste of space. Look, news today, another Joe Shane special, IR. Guy had a hamstring injury, a phantom hamstring, and doing what exactly? Sitting on the bench? Do we have to change the texture of the benches now for these players? Get them out of here too. Get them out. Unbelievable. Oh, salute, Tonya. What's up? What's up? Another tough one. Says, Bowen, how you get to keep your job before Dave's. Lord, Jameis is not the reason we lost today. I'm not even putting it on Jameis today. He gave you what Jameis gives you. I have no issue with Jameis Winston's performance today. None. I agree with you on that. And I definitely agree. And if you know and everyone knows me that's been watching this channel and knows me off the record, knows Shane Bowen shouldn't even be allowed back on the bus or team plane. He should have been gone 2 months ago, in my opinion. And, of course, the New York Giants doing what they do best, half-assing moves. They get rid of Brian Dable, but keep every other position coach that has blame to this thing. And on top of that, the biggest culprit we keep is Shane Blowing. Of course. Because I got to see him do this, right? I got to see him start Mr. Tamon Fox over Abdul Carter to start the series. Now, if anyone out there can tell me why, maybe it's disciplinary, let me know now. Because I'm all on top speed with this clown, even doing that. And I got my guy backstage coming through. He want to chime in. TP Wade.
Yo.
Salute, my brother. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you coming on, man. You always
man.
To come through for a therapy session, my dude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, I really, I think to be honest with you, there were some things that kind of just solidified for me. I want to start by saying I appreciated Coach Kafka's coaching job. I mean,
yeah, I don't have an issue with what he did today, except for the challenges, which was stupid to me. I don't know what he was thinking, honestly. But go ahead, brother.
So help me understand. Once you give up one challenge, you can, how many challenges do you get?
The thing is, if you are unsuccessful on the first challenge,
right,
you lose your challenge for basically the rest of the game, from what I understand.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
you know what? I'm gonna fact check that. We always deal with the facts. I'm gonna fact check that, but I believe that is it.
Okay.
And I think it'll be even worse if he still could use that other challenge and he didn't challenge the other play.
Right. Right. Because if that's the case, then that's terrible. But I mean, outside of that, I really like what I've seen, man. Like, I think Kafka did a few things, and I know a lot of people. I was on X/Twitter, and a lot of people may have expected so much to be done, but it's just like, y'all, he only has a week. Like, he's not gonna be able to implement so much change in a week. But from what I did see, as far as him coaching the game, there was things that I really did like, and for one, the running game. Sticking to the run.
Mm-hmm.
Sticking to the run. Tyrone Tracy Jr. had 19 carries. Devin Singletary had 16 carries. Through it all. Through the bad, through the good, sticking to the run. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
You also have Elijah Chapman finally being utilized. I've been like, we seen it in the offseason. On short down conversions, especially when we in the red zone. Why are we not opening that Elijah Chapman bag that we seen in the offseason? It seemed to have worked.
Brian Dable and the New York Giants, my brother. And I did confirm it.
Okay.
He is able to use the second challenge if he loses the first one. The issue is if you lose two challenges, basically you have to get both challenges right to get a third option. So he challenged the wrong play. That's basically what he did.
But I see that's frustrating to hear because what is the point of having these coaches in the damn skybox for having all of these eyes for you not to understand that, oh shit, okay, no, this needs to be challenged.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? Especially in today's time. This ain't back in the day. You have all the camera views in the world.
Absolutely.
But anyway, I like the fact that, you know, we utilize the screen game as well.
Yeah.
You know, on long down conversions, we got to the screen game. We put Tyrone Tracy Jr. and Devin Singletary in the open field, and we converted, you know, on a lot of long down conversions utilizing the screen game. We used to people doing it on us. Well, about time we catch up, and we do it on them.
Yep.
You know, again, there's just a few things, man. Being bold, man. Just finally, you know, deciding to just, you know, go for it on 4th and 1s and 4th and 3s, whatever it is.
No cowardly lying. No cowardly lying nonsense that David was pulling on us the last few years. Yeah.
No.
I agree, bro. I agree. And I want to mention that, like, because you brought it up. So I'm going to put it out there. The rushing game was very much important today. I thought this was Tyrone Tracy's best game of the season. He ran more definitive. He got more opportunities. They featured him more. And, hey, that's a good Packer defense out there, okay?
Yeah.
That's a good Packer defense. They run a good scheme, okay? And we had success on the ground today, you know? And that's encouraging going forward, I think, as like you said. 142 rushing yards as a team. Tracy with 19 carries, 88 yards, 51 receiving also. They, like you said, they used them in the screen game beautifully, I might add. And even Singletary got some opportunities and did pretty good, I thought, too, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you see what happens when you allow these players to get their feet wet. Because how many times have we seen under Coach Brian Dable will run the ball and then it's not looking oh so pretty, then we'll just go away from the run.
Absolutely.
No, Coach Kafka, he had us running from the start of the game to the finish. Even when it didn't look oh so pretty, we kept running the ball.
Yep.
And absolutely. So I love that. I absolutely love that. And I love the fact that we were able to see it without Jackson Dart being in play, because now you have to think about it. Okay, if Jackson Dart is in the game, you also learn and understand that he is not the only person that can run the ball.
Yep.
Hello?
Absolutely. And it's going to make the offensive rushing attack even better because now you have to defend that RPO action with Dart as the threat, as you know. And because Winston's not a threat to run it. You know, I know you got the tush push for like 10 yards. But at the end of the day, he's not a running quarterback. So that is a good point by you, brother. That's going to open up the rushing game going forward against these teams we got to play the rest of the year.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. It's the simple things, man, that we appreciate.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to overcomplicate certain things, man. Like, football is football at the end of the day. Like, I just appreciated the fact that Kafka did the simple things, man. And again, I've been asking over and over, like, what is up with the Elijah Chapman thing? And we've seen it. Elijah Chapman, man, imagine him and Cam Scatterbo in the backfield together. Who's going to be able to stop that?
This was the vision we saw before the season we talked about. Like, how did it take this long, T? How?
Even when we ask ourselves, how did it take this long? You there's different things about this game that you can continue to ask yourself. Isaiah Hodgins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did it
take
so
long to sign him?
Come on. You can't make this stuff up.
Should be on this team along with him, and we had to sacrifice one for the other. Is this what they telling us, TP? I don't get it, bro. I don't get it at all. They should have got him here. You know,
you can't
always
make this stuff
the New York Giants, brother. Always $1 short and a day late.
Yeah,
it is who we are, bro.
And this is the thing, man. For a lot of people that watch this game today and been watching all the games, you know that this one was just a little different. First of all, let's just be honest. We were beat up bad. And this wasn't supposed to be a one-score game.
Yeah.
Because
they play hard.
We really
Except the
technically
one
we're
guy
not.
that I'm going to get to, but go ahead.
Yeah, technically we weren't supposed to be in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So you also have to consider that when you want to analyze Coach Kafka's job as a whole. And I feel like, all in all, he gave us a chance to ultimately win. And that's all I can ask for coaching-wise. Everything else, then you got to talk to player effort and player-wise.
Right.
But, I just feel like good job, Coach Kafka. His first game, not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I've begun the show more so talking about not basically what he did today, but just about I don't want us to just do the same mistake. We talked about this the other day on your live stream the other day, TP, about I'm in the sense of the only thing we got to talk about with Kafka for the future is offensive coordinator, and that's it. I don't want him to be head coach. That's just me. Now, hey, I'm for we need to burn this thing down and just get new leadership from top to bottom. That's the type of time I'm on. Yeah. And I just don't want us to fall into the New York Giant way. And when I say the New York Giant way, with accepting being comfortable, no matter if it's a good or bad thing, accepting being comfortable. I don't want us to say, oh, well, we had Kafka for a couple of years. We know him. So, let's just kind of like keep him for a little longer. This is the stuff they do that always comes back. It never goes the right way for us when we do that direction. You know what I'm saying? Today,
I like that.
I thought he was solid. I thought he was solid today. This is a tough job, like you said. He had a lot of injuries. And, you would think that when you make a in-season coaching change, it's going to get the players riled up and give you that bump. You know what I mean? That little bump extra, except if you're Deontay Banks. But we'll get to that in a minute. But I thought he called a good game. Like you said, he stuck with the run, something we never do. Okay? Yeah. And Isaiah Hodgins with a nice contribution today. Wandell was solid. You know what I mean? I wish he wouldn't have dropped one pass, but, he kind of gives us one of those every game. And is it too early to say that Isaiah Hodgins in one game, in 4 quarters, has made a bigger impact than that stiff Darius Slade? Am I wrong for that, TP?
Not at all. Not at all. And Darius, what I like about Isaiah Hodgins is he has solid hands, man.
Yes,
reliable. He has solid hands. Very honestly, he reminded me of myself when I played. Like I wasn't the.
Ooh, okay.
I was,
get to do that,
I wasn't the flashiest receiver. You know what I mean? I wasn't the guy to go out there. I was the solid hand guy. Yeah. Like if the ball's coming to me, you can guarantee a catch. You know what I mean? I may not been the best as far as yards after the catch or things like that. Don't get me wrong. Baby. I run straight. That's me. I run straight. I run through you and straight. That was it. Okay. Isaiah Hodgins, I appreciate the fact that the solid hands is back. Because that seems that with these receivers, man, that seems to be the element that we are missing, man. When we're thinking about Darius Slayton, he don't really have the solid hands. Wandell, he don't have the solid hands. Lord knows Jalen Hyatt, he don't have the solid hands.
Isaiah Hodgins for that comment, by the way. She says, "I would say that this Hodgins, welcome back, my boy." Right
yeah. Nah, for sure. For sure. And even when we talked before the game, my big question was, okay, what Isaiah Hodgins are we going to get? Because it's been a minute since we've seen him produce. Well, he answered it today. And this seems like this was the Isaiah Hodgins that we knew and loved from the first get-go.
Yeah, 2022, 2023, baby.
I do want to say to the point that you was making earlier, that as you was speaking, like a light bulb went off, and it also said to me, well, a few things. If Coach Kafka is brought back as an OC, then that also means that I want a defensive-minded coach. Or if he is an offensive-minded guy, he has to be able to work well with Kafka. Yeah. He has to be able to – they have to feed each other ideas and be two peas in a pod. So either those two things. But if he's a strong-minded offensive coordinator, I don't need Kafka here because all they're going to do – is bump heads.
Like what Brian Dable did the last few years. And I agree with you, bro. And that's why I have my concerns with this situation. I'm just like, you know what, burn it, bro. Burn it. Burn it. Because don't keep making the same mistakes and putting yourselves in these clumsy situations. You know what I mean? Right. It's already about to get clumsy, which is what we talked about in the offseason before, the draft and everything about, hey, get rid of these clowns. Let the new regime pick their guy, their quarterback. Because in a year, if it goes down to where it usually goes, we're going to be stuck trying to find a regime that wants the quarterback that they didn't draft. And as good as Daughter is, there's a risk there. There's a risk there every time. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that again now with an offensive coordinator when, let's just say we go with the candidate that you talked about the other day, Clinsbury. Mm-hmm. There's no need to keep Kafka. Bye. Right. See ya. Yeah. It's a deuce. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like we can't limit ourselves of getting the best candidate because we are the best job. That's just my thing. You know what I mean? If we're the best job, let's not limit ourselves. Let's not shoot ourselves in the foot. This is a golden opportunity for the Giants to find the right guys to take care of this and fix this finally, bro. What do you think about that?
I'm with you 100%. I agree with you, and that's the thing. Also, man, you know what I've been hearing a lot when it comes to this, who's the next head coach and things like that. I think people need to also understand where we are at as a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
We can no longer afford to get that young, new head coach. Mm-hmm. I forget his name. What's my guy from Notre Dame?
Marcus Freeman, right?
Marcus Freeman.
Yeah, it's not the right time.
Listen, unfortunately for us, we have burnt all of our time in the experiment game.
Facts. Yep.
We could have done this ways back. But unfortunately, because we are in a position that we are in now, when we're on our fourth, fifth coach or whatever it is,
right?
Now it's like, okay, we got to bring in somebody who has that experience. Me, preferably, it doesn't necessarily have to be head coach experience. Mm-hmm. He just has to reach the requirements to be fit for the job.
Right.
He has to be a leader of men in my eyes. So I see a lot of people talking about that, and I just felt like, listen, man, unfortunately, we're just not in a position to get that first-time head coach.
And we tried it before years ago, bro, and it was Joe Judge, and we see how that went. Like, we need to keep away from that college stuff. Like, none of that. Let's hope the guy can be a good coach on the next level. Let him prove that he can do that on his own time.
Right.
We'll revisit. You know what I'm saying? We can't be the lab. We can't be the lab.
Exactly.
We can't be the laboratory.
Exactly.
We
exactly.
You know what I mean? So I'm done with that as well. To me, the only college coach that made any sense that you could probably talk me into is Lane Kiffin. And he's not going. And that's okay. That is okay. Give me the guys that are doing it on this level. That's it. You know what I mean? That's the type of time I'm on. You know what I mean? I want to get to this comments real quick, brother. Daryl says, checks in, salute Daryl, who's at MetLife, went to the game. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry I couldn't make it tonight, Daryl. I just couldn't get out there today. But he says, I drove 3 hours to watch this defense play soft. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Yeah, man. They play soft, man. I mean, listen, at point of attack, we know the issues against the run. We know that. You would think, TP, that Josh Jacobs goes out and you're like, okay.
Right.
Okay. That's okay for us. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Maybe we can actually contain this stuff because Jordan Love doesn't really like to run a lot of RPO action. He's banged up with his shoulder and all that. But the backup still put in work. You know what I mean? And that's who the New York Giants are, bro.
And this is the thing, man. Daryl, I will say this though. Shout out to you and everybody that was at the game because y'all had it rocking out there. Y'all had it rocking out there, and I always appreciate that, man. And again, I think the fans and this coaches, well, not coaches. I ain't gonna say coaches because that'll be a damn lie. But Kafka and these fans today, I think y'all gave us a chance to win there's an
Mhm.
element to having a home game being an actual home game, and y'all added to that today.
It was
So
a battle in them stands because
that's a
I
fact.
got a lot of texts during the game. They're like, "Dude, it's a lot of Packer fans here today." Similar
Yeah,
to when I went to the Niner Giant game, where it was just like overpopulated. It was the similar, but the difference was okay. In this game, the Giants gave our fans that were there something to cheer about for most of the game. That
yeah.
Niner game was
That's a fact.
it was just straight domination. Basically, it wasn't as close as it at the end of the score that day. Today was a battle. Today the Packers had to go out there and beat us, and they did. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They did. So it
Yep.
is what it is. But yeah, I
Yeah.
agree, man. Shout out to Daryl. Shout out to all the New York Giant fans that did show up today. Uh, Tanya says, I am convinced we don't know what qualifies for a penalty anymore. LOL. I think she's referring to the fumble, which I thought was a freaking fumble. That was BS. I don't know if you remember that play, TP,
Yeah.
where got escaped, got it to the tight end, and clearly he caught it and made a football move and then fumbled the ball and they reversed it. Because that's just what happens to the New York Giants. You know, we do for one of those bad calls once a game, but I agree with you, Tanya. That was BS, man. That was a crap call. And it's a shame he didn't have
Unfortunately,
to challenge. He didn't challenge that because I really thought we should have challenged that play. That's the problem that I have with Capco and the challenges. But go ahead, bro.
no. I was unfortunately, man. As Giant fans, we should already know, man. We could never look for the refs to coach a clean game versus us, man. Like
Yep, never gonna
we should
happen.
always go into the game expecting some bullshit, man. That's why we got to be on our P's and Q's. That's
Yeah,
why the challenge was important. You know what I mean? I'm a big believer in controlling the things that you can control. Right?
right,
The refs they messed that one up. But what could we have controlled on that? We could
right.
have challenged it. So I'm
Yes.
more focused on that, man. But yeah, the
Yeah,
refs.
absolutely.
Yeah,
That was a bad challenge, not
yeah,
attempted challenge because the first challenge I thought I didn't like that challenge to be honest. I was like, okay, a couple of yards. What are we really doing that for? Keep your
yeah.
challenges, coach. Like I think maybe his adrenaline of being his first game, he was locked in. He was trying to like maybe just somebody like you said, someone upstairs goofed and told him, "Hey man, that's coming back," and he just said, "You know
Yeah.
what? Let's get something positive and challenge it." And it was so I put it. You know how that go with those things.
Right.
But why in the world did someone not radio him and tell him from upstairs, "Hey man, that's a fumble. Challenge that. Make them
I don't
challenge." I
get it.
don't care if they, I don't know, bro. I
I
don't.
don't get it. I do not
My
get it.
turning point of the game today, bro, is the Hyatt running a lazy route in the end zone that leads to the Winston interception. Bro, I'm done now. I'm done with him. I can't do it no more. You know, we have been Team Hyatt since he got here, even despite with Dable's nonsense of playing him enough. We have given this kid every opportunity. I am convinced now it's never going to work here. Now, it might work somewhere else. It might, because he does have that talent, and that's what frustrates me. But I'm done now. I'm done. I can't condone laziness and not trying hard enough. I don't do it with Deontay Banks. I was on it last year with him, and I never wavered. I can't look away on this. It's too many times that in that part of the game, you cannot do that. I don't care. You can't. Jalen Hyatt has to go. It's obviously not going to work here. And you know what? I understand Shane didn't want. Maybe he did say, you know what, at the trade deadline, hey, I need to see for sure. I think you need to make a statement Monday morning. Deontay Banks, Jalen Hyatt, cut them both. Cut them. Show some guts. Show some like, hey man, this is not tolerated no more. Because I'm gonna get to that clown Tay Banks in a minute because he was even worse than Hyatt. Okay, but in that part of the game, Hyatt, you can't do that, bro. And Winston played better. He played good today and good enough to win. And it's a shame that that's going to be because of the reputation of him with the turnovers. That's going to be the end all when they look at the papers tomorrow. But in the context of the game and the eye test, we know what really happened. Bro, talk to me off the ledge about Jalen Hyatt, man, if you can. If not, I need to know you. I need to know how you feel.
Hey, we jumping off that bitch together, man. Hey, that ledge. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, man. We jumping off that ledge together, man. Because Jalen Hyatt, we're the same, man. Like effort is just you can't excuse that. We can't excuse that, and you give us no leg to stand on at that point. But to be honest with you, and I can't wait. I'm gonna put out. Hopefully, I put out a video, man, going over the all 22. Mm-hmm. There was a play earlier in the game in regards to Jalen Hyatt's effort where we ran the ball and he had such a delay getting off the line. I couldn't believe it. And when I seen that he didn't pick up the block, and the guy that he was going for that he didn't pick up the block on made the tackle, I was pissed. Because again, I'm going to be real with you. Again, I'm going to say it again. The type of receiver that I was when I played, I took pride in blocking.
Yeah.
I took pride in blocking.
Yeah.
Like, and that was a reason on why I wanted to play tight end. Because I found joy in whoever's running the ball getting a first down, getting a touchdown, or whatever. Because I know that I did my job and I moved whoever it was in front of me out the way and for them to do that.
Yep.
If you don't have that mindset as a receiver, I can't respect it.
No.
And so when we talk about effort, that is something else that I see in the Jalen Hyatt, and I really do hope I can find that play, man, when that all 22 comes out. But I have no wiggle room, man, for a lack of effort, and I'm with you, man. I'm done. This. I mean, we've tried. Every Giant fan has literally tried to give Jalen Hyatt every opportunity to bounce back, because we do understand, yes, coaching really didn't help him, but at the same breath in time, bro, you got to help yourself. And so I'm done. I'm done.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. And wasn't there a play early in the season where Jackson kind of yelled at him about a block? Or something that he didn't do?
Yeah. Yep.
The effort just isn't there with him, man. It just isn't. Sometimes he just runs lazy routes, bro. It is what it. This was the concern coming in the draft, where they were saying that. I've even seen him a couple of times. Now, I'm not going to say that every time he runs a route, it's not a good route. That's not true either. I have seen him that he runs and the ball's just underthrown. But I've also seen him run and he just stopped running. Like he'll slow down for some reason. Dude, you're fastest guy on the field. Just keep running and let that ball get to you. But for him to do that in that part of the game, TP, with a game on the line, you catch that, you run your route, that ball is there. That ball is there for a touchdown, and we win that damn game. Yeah. Okay, I believe. Because I think we go on for 2 and everything after that. You know what I'm saying?
At the very least, you play the ball and you prevent an interception. At the very least.
Did you see Winston's? Did you see Jameis's face? Like, bro, what? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Oh my God! Honestly, if Jameis would have chewed him out going back to the sideline, I wouldn't even have been mad. I wouldn't even have been mad.
He's lucky Jameis isn't that type of guy. But,
he's not. Yeah, he's very lucky, because I think Dart would have. Dart gives me that vibe.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yep. I'm with you. With you. And I'm glad the commentators pointed it out too. Because a lot of times, I ain't gonna lie, when I first seen it, I was like, God damn, Jameis. But once they showed the replay, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, hey.
Yeah, shout out to Drew Brees, who I thought was just, he was putting me to sleep half the damn game with his commentary. But, yeah. Mr. Drew Brees, you're a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. First ballot, brother. But you might need to sit this one out. I don't know if this is for you, bro. I don't know if this next career change is for you, bro. You kind of putting me to sleep, and I know I'm not the only one, bro. But
this was his first one, right?
Yeah, that was his first one, bro. He's got a lot to get. Yeah, he's got a long way to go, man. I don't know about that. But I will say he did point it out correctly, and I'm glad he did that. I'm glad he wasn't. He actually put that out there, because I saw it the same way. Because I rewinded it so many times on my TV, I'm just like, wait a minute. that looked like it was either a back shoulder or to the corner. Let me see. And I'm just seeing he just running straight and it just pulls up and he turns around. Oh shit. He did throw it to me. Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing, Jalen? I'm ashamed that you share the same name, okay, with one of the best players in New York of my New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson. I don't like the fact you have his name right now. That's how mad I am today at your ass. Seriously.
Man,
like,
speaking of that, before I get out of here, I got to ask you this because I really want to know your opinion.
Yeah.
Abdul Carter, man. Abdul Carter. I was a little disappointed by his performance today.
I was a little bit too.
He's what I don't like is like Giant fans, Giant content creators. What they'll do is they'll show a clip of Abdul Carter doing something nice and they'll post that. But when you watch him throughout the duration of the game, it's just it wasn't it, man. It wasn't it. Setting the edge. First of all,
I was gonna say that's his problem.
Come on,
that's
man.
That's his problem. It's setting that edge. Yeah. It is. Everybody
who was coming at Kayvon Thibodeau when we drafted Abdul, I hope y'all learned something today. Because he damn sure Kayvon Thibodeau was for sure missed. And
no doubt about it.
There's a lot that Tibbs does on that field, man, that people do not understand, and it is taken for granted. But I hope y'all understood. But again, Abdul, the effort isn't where I wanted to be. Setting the edge is like it's a little undisciplined at times, and just all in all, I'm just tired of the woulda, coulda, shouldas on almost getting to the quarterback. That shit don't do it for me.
Yeah,
like that's what you do, and we drafted you to do that. You was drafted high. You was drafted third overall. So I'd like to see that translate onto the field. And to be quite frank, man, I just have not seen that from him. This was the game for me. I was really looking forward to seeing what that would have been like, and it just wasn't there, man.
No, I think you're right. I think you are absolutely right as far as the effort on the run. I think the run has to be better. What I'm seeing is basically the same things I saw with Tibbs in his rookie year with the edge, the setting the edge issues. Because I remember us, last year when we were talking last season, even when we was doing the Lieutenants show about how we needed to see Kayvon improve setting the edge. I never had an issue with his pass rush or effort. I know some Giant fans, they just go overboard with that stuff with Kayvon. It's ridiculous. Like they make it out that he's a scrub or something, which irritates the crap out of me. But he improved as years have gone by with the edge, and now he is a trusted run defender. Right. I see the same issues that Abdul Carter is having that Kayvon did. He's too much peeking in the backfield trying to get that sack, and that's he has to, because I think some of it is because he's a young player and probably he's reading too much of that online and about the almost sacks, and because his pressure rate is as good as anyone in the league.
Right.
The issue is finishing. The issue is finishing, no doubt about it. My thing was always coming. I love Abdul Carter's talent, but my only concern with him was just, was he going to be used properly in this scheme? Number one, and number two, play strength. He needs to get bigger. He looks a little on the thin side. Kayvon's swole now. He's swole. You see Kayvon, he's swole, bro.
Yeah.
Brian Burns, he's swole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think he needs to improve that in the offseason of getting stronger to be that every down edge guy, because they're going to run at him. I think maybe us as Giant fans, we kind of assume what we saw in preseason that was what we were going to preseason or training camp, that it was going to be effortlessly easy for him. And I never was on that way, but I think that's the issue. And, a young player coming into this kind of a situation with a terrible scheme and coaching staff, the losing that they didn't experience in college, sometimes that it affects them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to make excuses for them. It's got to get better. Yeah. No doubt about it. It's got to get better on that run. The pass rush stuff, I'm not too concerned with that. Because let's get there, and sooner or later it's going to turn. Shit, he's had 2 sacks taken away because of penalties. You know what I'm saying, this year. So the sack numbers should be better at that. But I just think maybe we kind of just assumed it was going to be a little too easy because of what we saw in training camp videos. That's not the NFL, bro. The NFL it's a different ball game. Sometimes guys get it the first year. Sometimes they don't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just think what you're saying is fair. I have no issue with it because I was thinking this the last couple of weeks. Like, man, I need Abdul to stop peeking in the backfield and going for these play fakes and these rollouts because he's getting suckered every time. Yeah. And film don't lie. Teams are starting to do that to him a lot the last few weeks. This NFC North, they have some good coaches in that division. They see those things all the time. They're going to keep going to it until you can show you can stop it. So, yes, Abdul Carter has to be better. But I do want to say I want this defensive coordinator on the first flight to Europe. Let's get him out of here. I want to see him in a better scheme, bro. I just do, because I know it'll be better results, man.
Yeah.
Everything you said, absolute 100% facts, TP. No doubt.
I definitely, I'm not mad at his. I mean, he knows how to pass rush. To me, where I get the most upset with him is like his pursuit. One thing we see from Dex, one thing we see from Burns, one thing we see from Tibbs is they go after it. Like, even after, the play is away from them, they go after it. And I just would like to see that from Abdul, because out of all of them, he has the speed, he has the burst, he has the power to do that.
He's got the total package, man.
You know what I mean? So, all in all, I would just like to see that. But, man, I do got to get up out of here. Wifey sent me the text.
You, man.
She's like, Salute
to
time
you.
To eat.
Salute to you, man. Thanks for coming.
Yes, sir, man.
Showing me love, man.
Of
for
course.
Everyone out there, make sure, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to my guy, TP Way the Giant, one of the best YouTube content creators and best Giant fans out here. Always with the ear to the streets, always coming through showing love. My guy, all of you guys, man, hit that subscribe. He's going to leave a comment, and he left there it is, left a comment in the chat, so all y'all can have it easy, man. Go show my guy some love, man. Appreciate you, TP.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Brother. Yup, peace.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So as my guy said, Abdul Carter's got to be better along with the rest of this squad. It just is what it is. And, the run defense is a big issue with this team. And I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face, man. I feel like we need to get better coaching in here. And a lot of these players that we feel can be better will be better. It just is what it is. I'm going to hit up these comments real quick. Let's see here. Tanya says, also Banks gotta go, man. Yeah, he gotta go. I was just about to bring that up with my guy, but he had to go. But yeah, he's gotta go. I have low tolerance for his effort level. Again, screwing up on a touchdown run. He stops and just lets the guy go. Goes right into the end zone. The backup running back couldn't even throw a hit out. Just made a business decision like if he that guy that can make business decision. I'm telling y'all, I am on the camp of, you want to show me something, Joe Shane? Because I want you out of here anyway. I don't even care. I want you out, Joe Shane. But you know what? Show some balls. And you do what you do Monday morning. You tell Jalen Hyatt. You tell Deontay Banks. Two of your big draft picks who have been busts. You go out there and you cut their asses because this effort is unacceptable, okay? Especially from a first-round pick of Deontay Banks, who should have been our number one corner when we drafted him, and he shouldn't even be on the field. He's unplayable. The guy stinks. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to play football. I'm convinced of that. I mentioned this last couple weeks back. This kid don't want to play football, folks. He don't. He's happy with being in the league and saying, "Hey, I got a jersey I can hang up in my house that I did it before. I made it to the league." This guy doesn't want to play football. This guy is 6'2", supposed to be chiseled up. He can't play the ball. A touchdown he gives up. Right there, he's right next to Christian Watson, and instead of him playing the ball, what does he do? He stands next to him and tries to jump next to him side by side and tries to swat the ball away. This guy sucks. He sucks. This guy doesn't want to play football. He doesn't want to get contact. He doesn't want to lay the wood out there, Paul, when it comes to run fits. He runs away from contact all the time. All the time. And we know how bad he is covering a receiver. All you got to do is run a crossing route, and he's guaranteed to chase the receiver 4 yards behind him the entire route. I know I can't play in the league, but I know if I line up behind that center, let me calm down because I know I'm yelling. Let me calm down, okay? But I can say for a fact that if I'm in the league and I'm on the center, I know I got a chance to complete a pass. If I throw that ball up with Deonte Banks playing the ball, I know that. I know that for sure. I have a chance. This guy is awful. Joe Shane needs to cut him and Jalen Hyatt tomorrow. No excuses. I need at least Deonte Banks off this team because he's unplayable. And unfortunately, it was bad because we thought we were going to get a Debo back today. Okay, we thought we were going to get a Debo back today. And he re-injured and aggravated his injury in warmups. So who knows how long he's going to be out. They might have to consider putting him on IR. Okay, because I don't like seeing that you re-aggravate an injury after you missed some time and coming back right before warmups. That's not a good sign. Okay. Deonte Banks is unplayable, folks. He's a bust, and Joe Shane, he's got to wear that. And it's just a long list of his draft busts. You cannot whiff on first-round picks. Evan Neal, IR, hasn't played a snap the entire season. He goes on IR with a hamstring injury, a phantom hamstring injury. That's a first-round pick bust. Jalen Hyatt, you see what he's doing for us and the crap he just pulled today on that effort on that game-winning touchdown or whatever, game-tying, whatever you want to call it. That's a problem. And Deonte Banks, since Wink Martindale left this team, has been a straight shit show. He doesn't want to play football. He doesn't have the intestinal fortitude, or to quote a wise man by Mick Foley, the testicular fortitude when it comes to stopping the run or making a tackle or hitting. He doesn't have it. He doesn't want to play football. Get him out of here. Get him out. Let's go back to the comments. Daryl says, I wasn't mad with the offense, but Hyatt got to finish that route in the end. No doubt about it, bro. No doubt about it. Well, we clean house, Tanya says, can that include our 1986 medical staff? The fact Gano is back on IR is wild. Yeah, another case in point. The New York Giants, they can't accept that Graham Gano is not a reliable kicker anymore. They could have cut him in preseason and found a kicker sometime this year. They didn't. And for the last couple of years, he's cost this team too many wins, too many games where we have a kicker. Okay? And lo and behold, was there anything more of a better bet than Graham Gano was going to end up on IR when he supposedly returned last week? Was there any better bet than that to happen? Unbelievable. Just a long list of the screw-ups by this New York Giant front office regime on decisions going forward. It never ends with this team. When we put Banks on punt return, I held my breath. Yeah. And what's crazy about it is that's the only time he ever looks good on the football fields, when he's returning a punt. And sooner or later, he's going to give that up anyway. So he's just a waste. He's a waste. All he does, and the fact that we continue to try him out there, all it does is show how bad Joe Shane the job has done the first couple of years with this team's depth. Now, I know that the last couple of years have been better drafts. But his decisions on those first 2 years have been bad on the draft. Free agency signings, we can go on and on, man. We can't shy away from it. This is why you got to clean house and you got to get these guys out of here. Okay, you can't half-ass it. Yeah, Dable's gone, but Shane Bowen, the worst defense coordinator in the league, is still here. So what's the point? What was the point of that then? Might as well have kept Dable. You can do that. Just saying. Just saying. So now we're going to let Joe Schoen, who brought Brian Dable here from the same organization, hired at the same time. We're going to keep him and get rid of Dable instead. I've seen this movie before, a John Mara special. Always keeps his GM longer than the coaches. This is what he's done since Tom Coughlin left. This is the same thing he did. He kept Jerry Reese longer. And how did that work out? He kept Dave Gettleman longer. He let Dave Gettleman hire 2 coaches with terrible roster management and drafts. And he let him stay and let him give him a retirement tour. Was there any doubt that John Mara was going to play the same hand again? And I know there's some reports that came out after that statement they made, after the Giants statement about the firing of Dable. I know there was some reports that nothing is guaranteed, that Joe Schoen will survive. And I get that. Nothing's guaranteed. Okay? All right, cool. But I've seen this movie before. So until I see them actually do it, I'm going to go by the assumption of what I see and what I've known, being a almost 40-year New York Giant fan, about how this organization does business. They're going to let Joe Schoen pick this new coach. Despite what they might be throwing to the media about, oh, the coach's decision is going to be the ownership, not Joe Schoen. He's going to help, but he's not going to make the final decision. Then what is he here for? What is he here? Why keep him? If you're going to neuter your GM from making those kind of decisions, why you have him for? Because you're comfortable? Because you know him? Seen this movie before. We need a coach who will hold the staff accountable of their errors. Dave's blamed himself instead of having the right combos with the appropriate people. You gotta be able to handle New York media. No doubt about it. I totally agree. I totally agree. You know, I need a coach that's gonna hold players accountable. You know what I mean? When Deonte Banks is doing crap like that on the field, when Jalen Hyatt is quitting on plays along with Deonte Banks, might as well call them the twins. They came in the quitter twins is what I'm gonna call them. Yeah, that's gonna be the name. That's gonna be the name, folks. The quitter twins, because they came in the same draft class. And they both do the same shit, quit, and suck on the field. I need a coach that's going to hold guys accountable and is not going to accept that BS, man. That is inexcusable to do that at the end of the game, Jalen Hyatt. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It is. And Deonte Banks, well, inexcusable should be his middle name. He don't want to play football. Get that bum out of here. Get that bum out of here. 9 coaches in 15 seasons. We are the lavish star in regards to coaching right now. No doubt about it. That's the problem with the New York Giants. Like I mentioned, they love their coaches to take the fall before their GM is ever held accountable enough, and that's the problem. I feel like Wink would have crushed it with this defense, or a guy like Spags. Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I mean, and just about any defensive coordinator would crush it with this kind of talent on this defense. But not this guy. Shane Bowen is the worst defensive coordinator in the league. It's not even close. It's not even close. Okay? Because if you look at the statistics on the bottom half of the league, you can actually go into those teams and say, you know what? They don't have a lot of talent out there. It's more probably a scheme, but more so talent. The Giants actually have talent on their team, and they're on the bottom. They're near the bottom. Shane Bowen is horrible. And there's no doubt in my mind, Wink Martindale, and especially Spags, the great Spagnola, a future Hall of Fame defensive coordinator, no doubt about it that they will be eating with this squad right here. No doubt about it. Not even close. Cliff checks in and says McCarthy might be the good choice. I thought the Jets should try for him after last year. A weird suggestion, which would have been good, Brian Flores, but that not happening because, well, LOL. Yeah, Brian Flores would be if it wasn't for the fact that the Giants were named in that lawsuit that Brian Flores has right now, I would have put him at the top of the list. The top of the list right now is my top candidate to be the head coach because he was close to being the head coach, but Joe Shane chose his best friend. He chose his bestie to bring over from Buffalo, but yet let's keep him. Package deal from Buffalo. He brings him in, but he gets to stay, of course, right? Brian Flores would be at the top of the list for me. He would have this defense on another level. No doubt about it, bro. No doubt about it. But that's not happening because of the situation with the lawsuit, with the Giants being named in that thing against the league. So it's not going to happen. As far as McCarthy, I look at Mike McCarthy. He's not a bad coach. He's a good coach. He's won a Super Bowl championship with Aaron Rodgers, prime Aaron Rodgers. But his team should have won more in Green Bay, and they didn't. And he's a good coach, but I'm looking at him in the Tom Thibodeau ilk, where he's a good coach. You know he'll get you into the mix. You know, you'll be a 10 to 12 win team and everything. A la Tom Thibodeau. You'll be one of those good teams in the conference and all that. But when it comes to getting over the hump, he's in that ilk. He just for some reason just doesn't do it. You know what I mean? I look at him as more of a program builder to get you right, but can he be the guy to finish it? That's Tom Thibodeau. It's the same thing. The only difference, he has a ring, unlike Tom Thibodeau, but he got it with Aaron Rodgers a long time ago. He went to the Cowboys, and you saw, yes, they were a playoff team. 10 to 12 wins all the time, got into the playoffs, but you saw they didn't win no playoff games, man. They didn't win nothing. That's the way I'm looking at him. Now, if they hire Mike McCarthy, would I be mad? No, I would not be mad, but I wouldn't be over the moon about it. I wouldn't. The Giants have to get this right, man. They got to get this right. I'm just tired of the what ifs, man. They need to get this right. They need to get a guy, and I don't want an old man being a coach either. I don't want that as well. They need to get this right. And you know, Hafley is right now my number one choice. Hafley, from Green Bay Packers. I've been watching him the last couple of years for that Green Bay defense. Top 5 last season and this season as well. You know, and it's not just because they traded for Michael Parsons, because they were top 5 last year without him. Okay? He's a Jersey guy. You know, he's got head coaching experience in Boston College. And you know, the last time we had a Boston College connection with a coach, that coach was Tom Coughlin. Okay, and I'm not putting him in that level of Tom Coughlin greatness, but there it is. There's some connections there, so I can see it. Now, I'm not 100% like full speed ahead, Hafley or nothing, but right now I have to say Hafley will be my number one choice, and at least a top 2 or 3 choice when it's all said and done. No doubt about it. Tanya says, the fact that a team asked for Banks after the trade line and we said no, mind blown. Yeah, because Joe Shane's arrogance, too stubborn to just accept that he whiffed. So he knew that was going to be bad. That was going to be a bad look on his part by trading away a guy to admit fault. So he wanted Joe Shane, I should say, wanted Brian Dable to be the fall guy so he can keep his shit. So him, by admitting, hey, I had to trade this guy because he's not good enough here as a bust, that's an indictment on him. So he chose not to. Mind-boggling. Just the kind of arrogance and self-preservation and bad moves and stuff that just personifies this regime from top to bottom. And this is why I wanted him out last year. This is why. No doubt about it. Sammy's checks in, says, what up, Born for Sports? Frustrated, man. And on another note, we could have kept the head coach until the season was over, but work hard on the defensive coordination. Just my humble opinion. I can see that, Sammy. Salute to you. Thanks for checking in, my brother. Always love. You know, you always got a spot on the show. Yeah, man. Listen, I wanted Dable gone, no doubt about it. I wanted him gone last week because something had to give. We just couldn't keep accepting losing, blowing these games the way we were blowing them, man. But what I hated was the fact he was the only move on the coaching staff let go. That made absolutely no sense to me. None. How do you get rid of Brian Dable and keep Shane Bowen? For that, you get rid of both of them. So I totally understand what you're saying on your opinion on that. I totally understand that because I couldn't believe, you know, I dropped a video on the firing a few days ago. I couldn't believe we kept Shane Bowen. I couldn't believe it. It's like, well, what are we doing here? Ownership got fed up and made a move, but you got to get rid of everyone else. Now, is it because they didn't have anyone else that they felt comfortable calling plays for this defense? I'm sorry. At this point of the season, it doesn't matter who's comfortable. Everybody's ass should be uncomfortable with the players because the players ain't getting the job done, and neither are these coaches. So all of that should be done. I'm sorry. I totally understand where you're coming from, Sammy. But I do think that Dable needed to be let go. That's my opinion. I thought it was the right move to do. I just don't agree letting Shane Bowen stay. I just don't. And Joe Shane stay. I just don't. You could have let somebody on that coaching staff run the defense, okay? You could have let Brandon Brown take over the rest of the year upstairs in the GMC. But they didn't because that's the Giant way. Half-ass. Half-ass every time. Burns is our defensive MVP this year, no doubt about it. Brian Burns, it's such a shame that Brian Burns is getting a raw deal here with the kind of year he's having, okay, under this terrible scheme. He's got, 12 sacks now? He should be the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year, and he's not even going to get it, and he's going to be an afterthought in the voting because we suck. We're 2-9 because of this stuff going on. And it's a damn shame that we keep wasting spectacular seasons from our players, our collection of talent, because our coaching staff can't coach their way out of a paper bag. It's a shame. It really is. It really is. We have some of the best talent, but these coaches are not utilizing them to their potential. Bowen should have been fired before days. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Big Dash checking in. Salute, Big Dash. He says, I don't want McCarthy either. I don't, bro. I don't want him. I don't want him. He's Tom Thibodeau, man. He's not my choice. I'm sorry. And I even saw a report today, Jay Glazer was on the telecast today and spoke about candidates that he's heard early, and the first name he named was Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy was the first name he named. You know, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, Mike McCarthy? Do we really have to go down that route? I'm not with that. Like I said, I won't be mad that he was the coach because at least I know he's better than what we have or have had in a while. But he's not going to be he's not the answer. He's not the answer to take this franchise out of hell to being back to what they should be, which are Super Bowl contending caliber team. He's not. He's not. That Super Bowl in 2010 was a long time ago with Aaron Rodgers, who at that time was maybe a top 5 quarterback of all time at that time. Am I missing something here? Dallas Cowboys, he helped them. They got better, but they weren't like ever a serious Super Bowl contender there. He's Tom Thibodeau, bro. I'm telling you, he's Tom Thibodeau. He'll help you get out of the darkness, but won't get you over the hump. We need a guy that's going to be the answer for the next 10 to 12 to 15 years, man, like a Tom Coughlin was. That's what we need. Mike McCarthy is not that. He is not that guy. In 3 years, we'll be talking about who's next in line. We'll be doing that all over again. We'll probably be better off, but than we are now from a 2-9 team. But we'll be talking about how, oh man, we need to get another coach in here that can take us to the next level. I'm done with all that. I want my guy for 10 years plus, man. I'm done. I'm done with these stops, these little stops, hit starts and starts, man. Enough of this nonsense, man. I'm with you, Dash. No to McCarthy, man. Who would you like to see as coach, OC, and DC? I would, as I mentioned, as of right now, Hafley would be my choice if we want a defensive-minded coach first. You know, and if Mike McDaniel loses his job, I would definitely bring him in for offensive coordinator. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Hafley will have the defense right. Hafley will make this defense right. No doubt about it. He knows what he's doing out there. So he'll take care of the defense. My concern is, who do you bring in if you get a defensive first coach, who's going to run the offense and develop Jackson Dart? That's the issue. So I don't want to go defensive-minded coach, even though that's what I want, if we don't have a solid plan with the offensive coordinator. Okay? And I'm sorry, Mike Kafka, I don't want him back as offensive coordinator. I just don't. Because and it's not really on him and his fault, but he's a part of the stench of what this regime has been. So I just want to burn all that to the ground and don't look back. I don't want to keep holding on to something from that. Because you know what's going to happen next year. We not winning a couple of games and the offense is sputtering or something. He's going to be the first to go. So what is the point? We need to move on. Simple as that. If we go an offensive-minded coach first, right now I would go for, a guy like Kubiak from Seattle, who's done a tremendous job with that team over there. Geno Smith had a decent season last year in that offense. Also, Sam Darnold is playing MVP caliber football for that team. He's playing really well. I like him a lot. Clinsbury's a guy I'm definitely going to take a look at because he even checks the box of being an experienced head coach before. He's done some good things with Jaden Daniels over there. You know what I mean? That's somebody I would look at. I also want to mention, keep one guy in mind as well that I saw Jay Glazer. See, I take a lot what Jay Glazer says as gospel. Shula from the Rams. Okay? He was a name drop that he was talking glowing about. And one thing I will say, okay, my father is a lifelong, since 1968, Rams fan. And so I know a little something about them, about what they do over there. I watch their games as well when I get a chance to. Anyone from the Sean McVay tree has been really good in the league as far as coaches around the league. His tree is very good. And for what Jay Glazer he was going on and on today about how he's the guy that McVay really trusts and allows into game plans and everything. So if he's a guy, if he's a guy that they go with, I wouldn't be mad about that hire either. Because he runs that defense over there. They got a lot of young players the last couple of years, and he's made that defense really a good unit over there. So, yeah, if Shula's a candidate, I'm definitely bringing him in to see what he's talking about. I would love to see that. And then offensive coordinator, I would assume he'll take somebody from McVay's staff. And the McVay tree is probably the best in the league right now, I would have to say. So give me that. No doubt about it. That's somebody we got to keep in mind as well. But get Mike McCarthy. I'm not in on that, man. I would love to see AP as DC. Eli be a quarterback coach, and the guy they had in today, would love to see him stay. Kappa, I'm still on the fence about. I don't know if Eli will want to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Eli too busy loving life and doing what he do. I don't think he got that commitment. If Eli told me, hey, man, I want to be a quarterback coach, I'm in. I would love that. I would love that. But I just don't think he would be that. APSD, Antonio Pierce at DC, I'm definitely in on that. I definitely would love to see that, But it depends on what coach we get and if they're in on that. I would love to see that. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Not at all. He was an interim coach for the Raiders for a couple of years with a team that didn't have a lot of talent over there, and he was pretty good. He wasn't bad considering what he had out there. So, I wouldn't be mad. Antonio Pierce wouldn't be mad at that at all. And I will die on this hill. Shane fumbled the Taquan deal. Just remember that. Plus McKinney get rid. Yeah, my whole thing was, the most thing was McKinney for me. because they ended up paying Holland similar to what they could have gave McKinney. Another bonehead move by the New York Giant front office. Another one. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Danny checking in. Salute, Danny. I saw you went to the game, bro. I couldn't make it out there today. He says, love how Hodgins played, but crazy now how Hyatt's sorry ass is still on this team and little Jordan Humphrey is not. Bro, I am so with you. It's so funny how I was talking about this with TP a little while ago. It's so funny how we could actually have little Jordan Humphrey on this team along with Mr. Isaiah Hodgins, and they still give us better production than that stiff Darius Slayton, who's robbing the Giants blind right now. Hurt again, Mr. Unreliable, who will go balls to the wall out there to play for Daniel Jones, his bestie. But when we need him, no, he can't play. He can't. Unreliable ass. Robbing the Giants blind. Just such a stupid contract, Joe Shane. Another swing and miss move by Joe Shane. Another one. And I've said many times, bro, as I've said many times, I'm not one to say that Darius Slayton is a terrible player, but he's not reliable and he's not enough that I would have brought back last year. And the Giants are going to feel it. They're going to feel that. They're going to feel that for sure. At this point, I don't care if we get a defensive-minded head coach or an offensive head coach. I just want the right coach. No doubt about it. That's all it is, bro. That's all it is. It's about getting the right guy, man. That's all. To me, I don't have a preference. I don't have a preference of what kind of coach I want as far as who runs the offense or defensive mind. I just want the right guy. And mostly, I want the guy that's going to be the no-nonsense, not accept crap guy, okay? I want the guy that's going to run the team with leadership, that's going to go out there and make the right decisions, the uncomfortable decisions, okay? That's the guy I want. That's the guy I want. That's the guy I want. I want the guy that's going to go out there and not take no nonsense and not have our team at a disadvantage every week game plan against the opponent. I want the guy that's going to make adjustments out there, that's going to get the job done in that field. I want the guy that's going to develop Jackson Dart and take care of him and make sure he's in the right position to succeed. I want the guy that's going to turn this defensive talent and turn them into the potential that they really have. That's what I want. That's what I want. I am with you, Danny. It's all about getting the right coach, man. It don't matter what side of the ball they are. It's about getting the right guy who actually knows how to pick a staff as well. Okay? Because clearly Brian Dable can't. He can't pick a good staff. He can't. He picked Shane Bowen over Wink Martindale. And to me, Wink was picked mostly because the Maras insisted on Wink getting hit. Because Brian Dable's ego was too much to just accept to make things work, he chose to let Wink leave and go bring this stiff in here. He basically put all the blame of the losing on him on the defense when his offense couldn't score worth a lick. So when he ran out of excuses that Wink and the defense was in here, okay, then he goes out there and he blames the quarterback, which some of it is true because Daniel Jones was a terrible Giant quarterback here for the most part. He had one year. That's it. 2022. Okay? But he didn't help him get better. He didn't put him in a position for the most part to get better or be better to win games. Because obviously the coaching staff and the coach know how to do that. That's on him. And I'm not even a Daniel Jones guy. I'm glad we moved on for him. And I'm glad we got Jackson Dart. But I call it how I see it. It's ridiculous, man. We gotta rid 1925 New York Giants drive of this stench of this regime sooner rather than later. Cliff says, how your pops became a Rams fan? Well, my father was according to what he tells me, he was a Rams fan back in the day. He loved Deacon Jones. He loved the fearsome foursome. He was on it like that. He's been a Rams fan since 1968. Also, at that time, the Giants weren't too good at that time as well. They were probably in a worse period of time in New York Giants history than the one we're currently in. So it was easy for him to grasp onto that, and that's why he became a Rams fan. He stuck with them. One thing about us Alicias, man, we loyal to our teams, man. We loyal to our teams and our family. I'll tell you that right now. You gotta be loyal to be a New York Giant fan, a New York Knicks fan, a freaking New York Met fan. You gotta have some loyalty in that DNA to pull up with that. I'll tell you that. Because these teams just drive me nuts. They drive me nuts, folks. Oh man. Tell you, man, it ain't easy doing this, man. But it is what it is. You just got to keep telling yourself it'll pay dividends in the end down the road, man. And the New York Giants have given me a lot of success in my lifetime, in my sports life, and a lot of joy that it's kind of easy for me to stay where I'm at. I'm a loyal person anyway, but just in that sense, you know what I mean? They won for me more than any team that I root for all my life. So it's New York Giants till I'm wordful, folks. It is what it is. They can go 0-17. I'm gonna be an angry camper. You know me, y'all. But I ain't going nowhere. I bleed blue. No doubt about it. If we could have 2022 days again back, man, I don't know what happened to that guy. I think what happened is the league figured out what it is that we do well and what he wants to do, and he's never found an answer after that. And the worst part about Brian Dable is his arrogance was ultimately the death sentence for him. He just blamed everyone else too much and let his players get away with no accountability of not trying hard enough. And like Deontay Banks, Jalen Hyatt, for example, other players that have come here. And it is what it is. It was the ultimate death for him. And it's a winning. It's all about wins and losses, folks. It's a business. You got to win games, especially in the New York market. We ain't with that losing shit for too long. And the fact that John Mara gave him this year, after what happened the last couple of years, to come back and fix this, along with Joe Shane, and we're still stuck in this. This is why I didn't want them back. So it's all on him. He changed. He started coaching like a coward, stopped going for fourth downs, and it's just everything went downhill after. I don't know what happened. After he got that coach of the year, man, it went the other direction. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. McAdick. Yeah, McAdoo, man. He was terrible too, man. He was terrible too. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Cliff says Knicks, Mets, Jets, Rangers. Shaking my head, shaking my head. Yeah, I got Rangers as well. I should have mentioned them as well. Another team that's giving me heartache. 94 Cup. At least I saw the 94 Cup. I can say that at least. But, man, they've actually gotten close. They've knocked on the door for a few times, but they haven't been able to close. But, it is what it is. Knicks, Mets, Jets. Bro, it ain't easy, bro. I know, bro. It ain't easy. I thank the God. I ain't even trying to disrespect no Jet fans out there, including you, bro. But I thank God that I chose the right football team. Because I couldn't be a Jet fan. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do that. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Tanya says, cough, cough, Yankees. Well, you chose the right baseball team, I guess. Yep. My Mets have gotten better since Steve Cohen has gotten here, but they ain't on the championship level yet. They're getting close, but they ain't get there yet. It is what it is. It is what it is. Well, before we wrap up today's show, let's see here. Let's see. Before we wrap up today's show, I want to touch on something here. Let me see if we covered every topic yet. Let's see here. I think we did. Well, Let's see here. Got this new program here. I think we basically touched on everything. As we mentioned, the run game was a plus today. I love what I saw with the run game going forward. This was clearly the best game that I seen Tyrone Tracy play. I mean, he's been, to me, I mentioned this a couple of times too. He's run pretty soft this year. And I know he got banged up early in the season. I do recognize that. I do. But I just felt basically what Scatterbo brought to us and what Tyrone Tracy's skill set is, this is what we envisioned when we got these guys, when we drafted Scatterbo. They were supposed to be that 1-2 tandem. I thought that could have been great. And it's a shame that Scat got hurt because we could really be dangerous. But Scatterbo just took the reins and ran with it. And I'm not sure if it would have been good for Tyrone Tracy going forward that we get this production because that's how good Cam Scatterbo has been for us. So, hey, shout out to Tyrone Tracy and Singletary, who's really good today as well. Shout out to them. This run game was real good. They stuck with the run. I like that about Kafka, that he definitely stuck with that. And I'm hoping this is what we get going forward, especially when Jackson Dart returns. I would imagine the RPO is still going to be involved with Jackson Dart because he's too good at it. But the nonsense that Brian Dable was like running him 10 times to 12 times a game, that clearly has to change. You can't do that. You can't do that. This is not Lamar Jackson. Jackson Dart is a tremendous talent and everything, and he can do those things, but that's not something you want to do. And Jackson Dart has to be better and more conscious of not taking as many hits as he should as well. That's also on the player. He's a young player, and he's got to reel that part about himself in. And I hope the Giants do work on that with him. But this is a good sign here, especially next week. If Jackson Dart is cleared to play next week, that is a good sign going forward, this rushing attack. That's a good Green Bay defense out there, folks. And they had success. And they had success because they stuck with it. They didn't rush for a big yards per carry today, but they stuck with it and imposed their will. And late in the game, they were getting bigger chunks than they did for the first 3 quarters. That's how you got to do it. That's how you got to do it. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come. Definitely. I want to also say my unfiltered truth, as you guys all can tell. Meaningless wins in a loss season should not affect the Giants' decisions of the organization. Fire Shane now to me. I'm sorry. Based on what you saw today with the draft pick misses of Deonte Banks, okay, Jalen Hyatt, that's just some of the ones that show you. Graham Gano, injured again on IR, sticking with him after the fiasco he's been the last couple of years with injuries. Okay? Paying Darius Slayton the money he's paid him, who can't even stay on the field. And when he's on the field, doesn't do much. He's had one solid game all year. One. Just Evan Neal, IR this week. Probably not going to see him for the rest of his Giant career. He's going to be out of here. These decisions fall on the guy in the lead chair in the office, and that is Joe Shane. Fire him. He cannot be a part of the future of this organization. You don't want to fire him tomorrow? Fine. Black Monday should be his last day. Straight up like that. He should go. He should. Stop half-assing the situation and making decisions. Be definitive and recognize what needs to be done and do something about it, John Mara. And I understand, all right? You got a health fight to do. Well, you know what? If you're not capable of making those decisions, step down, let someone else run it, and you know what? Make those decisions. And then when you get better, we'll see you soon. It's okay to do that, Mr. John Mara. It is. You got to concentrate on your health. Do that. Let someone else make these decisions then if you can't do it. Because clearly, Joe Shane should not be going forward as the GM of this organization. especially when you're looking for another head coach in the offseason. Stop with the half-ass decisions. Enough. Last comments of the night, man. Javi checks in. Salute, Javi. What's going on, bro? He says, hey, brother Jorge, I'm so upset and angry about today's game, but grateful for Jameis and even our players, too. I'm so upset about today's game. Yeah, man, it was just another way the Giants just find ways to lose, man. It's what they do. It's a part of the DNA of this team, bro. It's a part of the DNA of this team, and it's the main reason why they need to rid themselves of what is this organization has running the show. They did half of it. They got rid of the coach. Now they got to get rid of the GM. They need to burn this thing down with that and go forward with the collection of talent they have left and let the next guys in those seats pick the right guys, first of all. You got to pick the right guys, obviously. But those guys need their opportunity. These guys have had 4 years. 4 years. And probably 1 year too many to get this right, and they haven't. We're 2-9. 2-9. Probably 2-9 last year, too. We only won, 3 games last year? Get rid of the stench, John Mara. Get rid of them. Get rid of all of them. Cliff says, I still got you beating the Cowboys, Commanders, Raiders, and upcoming game. Your lips to God's ears, bro, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Cowboys are going to probably beat us. You know, they can score. You know, they're going to run laps around Shane Bowen's scheme, this trash-ass scheme. Commanders is a winnable game. Raiders are a winnable game. That'll be competitive. Raiders are on the road, though. That's a road game. So that won't be easy, but it's a winnable game. Commanders are a winnable game. Let's see what happens. Your lips to God's ears. And I don't care if they win all those games. I don't care if they win the rest of their games. I still want this thing burned down. I don't care. I am not going to fall for the fucking cheese. I'm not taking the cheese on meaningless wins in a lost season again. It is a giant special to do that. It is typical New York Giants to get a few meaningless wins at the end of the season in a lost season and say, oh, well, this is who we are. Not the first 3 months. Not me. Not me. The Giants have to stop doing it. That is the New York Giant way. They got to stop doing that. Don't take the cheese. Don't. Simple as that. Tanya says, with the last comment, I will say this. It is Men's Mental Health Month. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Salute to everyone out there fighting their battle with mental health. If you need to talk with someone, do that. No doubt about it. You don't have to go through this life alone. It takes a village, and there are plenty who want to be your village. If you need help, please reach out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That good message there. No doubt about it. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. But that's going to do it for today's show. Next game is Week 12 at Detroit Lions. We will see if Jackson Dart will be healthy and able to return next week. If not, we'll see what Jameis can do in his second start. Hopefully we get Jackson Dart. And you know what, folks? None against Jameis Winston. I felt like he played decent, pretty good today. And I feel like he played well enough to get us that win. If it wasn't for Jalen Hyatt, bum-ass, quitting ass. But I'll say this. I miss Jackson Dart playing football. I miss watching that kid play some football, man. I did. I miss watching him play football. So hopefully the kid is healthy, ready to go next week. We'll see how that transpires. We'll see. Yeah. I want to see Jackson Dart out there, man. I do. I want to see Jackson Dart go out there with his run game playing the way they did today. I want to see Jackson Dart go out there with Isaiah Hodges' reliable hands, unlike that bum Darius Slayton. I want to see Jalen Hyatt quitting ass as well. I want to see Jackson Dart in that setting on the road against one of the best teams in football and go out there and give us a good show and try to win that game. I want to see Jackson Dart play football. I missed watching Jackson Dart play football today, folks. I did. I did. Kind of made you think, you know what? We might have won this game if he played. It makes you think that. But no knock on Jameis. Jameis did good enough to win this game. We should have won this game. We should have. But it's a long list of games, the New York Giants, we have said this year about them. They should have won or could have won. It is in their DNA. They have the loser DNA right now. And until they get rid of that stench, this is who they are. They do just enough, but to never get over the hump. And that's their problem. They're a team that is learning how to win and just can't get out of the way to get it done. And they have to learn to do that. Simple as that. So that's going to do it today, folks. The Giants lose to the Packers 27-20 and now fall to 2-9 on the season. Salute to everybody that came through. Chopped it up. Salute to TP Wade, my bro, always showing love. Thanks. I appreciate you coming through as well. And I appreciate all of you in the comments chiming and chopping it up with me. It's all love, baby. I appreciate all of you guys. But for those that are new to the channel, that might stop by and see this podcast, I just ask one thing. Smash that subscribe button of Born for Sports because, folks, I talk all sports. As you can see, big-time New York Giants fan. Again, another loss today on a lost season. Keep it locked. I'm going to take this ride with y'all every step of the way, baby. No matter how rough and tough it gets, I'm in the car, y'all, and I'm with you. Therapy session every week if needed. Keep it locked, New York Giant Nation, for more New York Giants content. I talk New York Knicks basketball, and I'm a pretty content New York Knicks fan considering right now we got some injuries we're dealing with. The great Jalen Brunson had a sprained ankle the other day. He's day-to-day. He avoided major injury, it looks like. And now OG Anunoby also in the last game, he hurt his hamstring. He's going to be out a couple of weeks. So Knicks showed the other day against the Miami Heat. They got depth, folks. Yes, sir. They got depth this year. They got players who are playing and gelling with this system. So let's see how it goes going forward. They play tomorrow in Miami for another tilt against a rival. New York Knicks Nation. Keep it locked for that New York Knicks content you seek. And I'll be bringing it to you real soon. I talk New York Met baseball. MLB fans, it is free agency. We have a winter meeting stream that will be coming soon when the winter meetings hit for all fan bases, not just New York Mets, for all fan bases. We did it last year. We had Yankee fans on. We had other teams' fans on to comment and chime in. Keep it locked, folks. Winter meeting stream will be coming soon when the winter meetings happen. I promise you that. I talk about the New York Jets. I talk about the Yankees. I talk about the Rangers. I even talk about the bum-ass Nets. I talk about whatever you want to talk about in the world of sports, especially New York sports. Shout out to New York Giant Nation. Like and subscribe to Born for Sports. Let's go Giants.